qualifying going on. A few drivers out on their out laps. Let's see what's going on here. We have the Toro Rossos and one of the Williams are out. Zenith here, coming in on his out lap, heading out to begin the first hot lap of the qualifying session. Had a pretty good round last week in China, I believe. Going through the final turn here. Japan's always a very tricky track, you know, there's not really any easy turns around here. Each one has its own different challenge. Yellow flag already.
I've DNF'd every race I've done here, so.
Yeah, there's one, you make that one mistake and it'll just catch you out and you'll go on board with Zenith. Heads through the S's. Each one is very challenging. You gotta worry about staying off those curbs. Here down into the two quick left-handers. These are always very oversteery on the exits. You gotta be careful there. Now up down the short straight into the hairpin. This is one of the tougher corners on the track, I would say. Here down the long right-hander in towards Spoon. Spoon is always one of those turns that just catches you out. You know, you run a little bit wide, cut a little bit short, and then all of a sudden you go around. You know. And then down the long straight here, not really a DRS straight, as there's no real hard braking point. Then in towards the famed 130R corner, which is pretty much a flat out at this point. He's on a pretty good. It looks like he's done a pretty good lap so far into the final chicane. And then out to the finish line here, putting up a lap. And looks like 129.3, so not a bad bank of time there for him. Let's see what else. There's Sam coming through in the Williams to finish this final lap. Zoink splits up a 131. Sam goes P2. Sir Harry puts in a 129, and then the two McLarens putting up low 129s. How about that? Maybe he'll score his first points this season.
Nah, it's fuzz. Come on.
Yeah, he'll probably find a way to bottle it somehow. Solid qualifying lap there. Beck puts up a 128.7. It's a really strong lap for him. He had some troubles at Monaco and then a decent race in China. Looks like a yellow flag in the S's. I'm pretty sure that's just people are trying to get out of the way. One of the Mercedes is coming up soon. Prince Ali on his out lap.
I think Sam might have spun because he was in a bad spot.
Can't tell what's going on either. Oh, he looks very slow. It looks like his front wing is still intact though, so another yellow flag down near Spoon. But JFD puts in a 129.6. Let's take a look at all of these at the tire choices here. So most of them going out in the sauce. I know last week in China we saw a lot of different strategies regarding the medium and hard tires for qualifying, but seems to hear that mostly everyone so far out on the softs. How do you see strategy playing out here during the race?
I think it's a one-stop kind of, no matter what it is. I think the sauce is a solid option.
Tire wear doesn't seem to be too big of an issue around here. So I hope probably like a soft and medium maybe.
Yeah, I think so. More just about keeping it on track here than anything.
Exactly. Oh, off track there. Red Bull coming through. I think that Bigot dives it into the pits. Puff right now on his out lap. Going down to the S's. He's on them soft tires there. Wolfsburg here, filling in the Ferrari this week. Looking just had a time here coming up. As the top 10 seems to be pretty unchanged for the last few minutes here. Interesting, Wolfsburg here on the medium tires. Wonder if he's going to try the old reverse strategy of medium soft like we saw a lot last week. Seemed pretty effective there, so hopefully that might carry over again this week. Into turn 1 now. A yellow flag, looks like just one of the Mercedes ahead. It seems like that 128.7 from Beck is the banker time that everyone's going to be shooting for here. But I think you'd expect that to improve as we go on through the session, correct?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's probably a low 128 should be up there.
Yeah, low 28 should be like what it seems to be for the pole time here as Wolfsburg, because purple in sector 1. And then through the hairpin now, so. What do you think? This first turn, at least with the AI here at Suzuka, generally leads to quite a lot of incidents and crashes going through that turn. Do you think we will see a lot of that in today's race, or?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like China turn 1. You know, you think you're on the inside, and it's extremely easy to just kind of veer out on the outside.
It's one of those turns you gotta be patient on the throttle. You feel like you can hit it, and then all of a sudden you're flying wide out of the S's and out of the turn. Then you got a lot of problems there. So hopefully we see a nice clean race like we had last week. But here's Wolfsburg comes through the final turn. See where he goes on the grid. Looks like P13. So not a bad first lap there. It's coming through the Toro Rossos now. Here on the hard tires, interestingly. See what kind of strategy he's going with here. Maybe it doesn't know if the mediums could last enough. Let's get started on them hards. He's got a lot of traffic in front of him. This could be a little bit interesting here going through the S's. It looks like Janet's out of the session there. He gets caught out on the end of the S's there. That's always one of those oversteery turns there, and that's a real disappointment for him. He's a very strong driver on pace. You expect him to do well here, so he's got to be pretty disappointed with that. Here, one of the Haas's is coming around. Looks like Ryan's going on to set a hot lap here. Yeah. Next, Mercedes. Prince Ali heads into the final chicane. A little bit of a bobble there, but see what kind of time he can put up and improve on that 132. It gets up to a 131, that only goes to P15 here into the session. The other Toro Rosso Zemoglis now coming up next, followed by the two McLarens. Let's see if any of them can improve. Zemoglis up to P3 on a 126 or 129. And then RC immediately jumps up that a little bit faster there. Quite the race at the top. And the Alpha's coming up. JXW now on his first flying lap, or second flying lap. JFD up into P2 with a 128.9. Looks like the other Haas. Gruesome puts in a 129.2, moves him up to P6. Oh, now P7 now, as Sir Harry up into P3 with a low 129.0. Solid lap time for him. He's pretty quick driver here. Saw a little P3 there.
Oh, Zemoglis spun.
Oh, another one. Oh, he's included another. He's got in with JXW. That's gonna be a 5-place grid penalty. Oh, and then one of the Ferraris is in there as well. I believe that's Doth. Oh, and another 5-place grid penalty for Zemoglis. So chaos here at Denyer too. And Doth loses his front wing. Luckily, he should have enough time. He hasn't even set a banker time yet. He should have enough time to come into the pits, get that repaired, and back out for another flying lap.
He was purple in the first sector. So.
Yeah, he must have had a very good lap time. That's got to be very disappointing him for there. One of the McLaren's coming. Fuzz dives into the pits. Up next is JFD trying to improve.
Oh no.
Doth is retired. I don't know what happened if the damage was too much. Or...
There was, I think it was a Mercedes on the other side of the track, and a Haas tried to split the middle. I think Doth panicked.
Zamogla's still limping around through the hairpin. Not sure what happened there. It looks like Doth is still sitting on the entrance in there.
And his front wheel's off, so.
It must have got a massive collision there. Not really sure what happened, but that's got to be very disappointing, man. Well, he's gonna have to start all the way at the back of the field, but I think if anyone would have the pace to move it up to the front, he had a great race in Monaco. Lost that with 2 laps to go, and then had another good recovery run in China. He pitted on for the hard tires on the first safety car and then made them last to 27 laps. So he could definitely find his way in the mix by the end of the race here. 5 minutes left in quali here. Looks like one of the Mercedes is coming across next. Dives into the pits. Puff looking to improve. Hasn't even got a banker time in yet. Wonder if he got a invalidated time coming through the chicane. And around the final turn. Let's see what he can put in. Oh, he goes top the leaderboard of 128.3. That's very impressive there from him. 4/10 clear of back nearly. Pretty good lap time. And most people into the pits. Looks like Prince Ali is out for another outlap. Getting in towards the end of the session here. This is when everyone's going to be putting in their push laps, trying to reclaim pole. We'll see if any of them can knock off Puff with his 128.3, which is a very solid time. I don't believe anybody is out on a hot lap right now, so we'll keep an eye on Prince Ali here for the moment. Japan's always a very interesting track. It's the only figure 8 on the circuit on the calendar here. Lots of challenging turns, each with different characteristics. It's gonna be interesting today to see who can balance the fast, quick sector 1 with the slow turns like the hairpin and spoon and the technical chicane at the end. I think we're gonna see a good race today with some decent opportunities for overtaking, some risky moves into 130R, which should be entertaining to watch for us.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, hopefully last Thursday's race in China for Tier 2 was pretty much exactly what everyone wanted to see. Clean no safety car race with the great battles all through the midfield here. Hopefully we get another race like that today. And Saudi on his flying lap runs a little bit wide there. It seems to be okay. Down into the 2 right-handers. Those turns very easy to lock up, so it's gonna be interesting to see if the drivers can maintain their composure through those turns. As there you go, good driving there from the other Mercedes at GP Colin, getting out of the way.
Always good to see.
So it looks like everybody, with the exception of Janet, who crashed out on the soft tires now. So either they found out the mediums were a little too slow, or they decided that the soft strategy would be better to start with. Ali looks like he's gone very slow. He invalidated his lap time, so that's not ideal for him there.
He should have time to get another one, at least.
It's gonna be tough to. He's not gonna be able to put on a fresh set of tires though, which is.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt him.
Which he's gonna have to put out another lap on them worn tires with the. Hopefully he can recharge enough of his battery to put on a solid lap here. Here comes JXW recovering from that incident. Looks like he's got any damage that he had repaired. Coming through the final chicane, seeing if he can improve on that 132. Looks like moves up to P16 with a 130. Wolfsburg coming up next. Nearing 1 minute left in this session.
RC7 about to move up a few.
Wolfsburg up to P13. RC up to P3. 128.7. They're just narrowly missing clipping back there. A few more drivers finish out their laps. Looks like we have Toro Rosso Zimoglis beginning his next lap. And as well as the Haas.
Well.
Yeah, that's a very solid lap there. If he's 3/10 up, and hopefully he can improve on that. We got a gaggle of cars here with the Mercedes. Not sure what's going on there. This could be interesting. Looks like a Force India.
P2 for Fuzz. Jeez.
A pretty solid lap there for him.
He's clearly drank his milk. I'll give him that one.
Zimoglis retired from the session. Trying to see what's going on here.
JXW binned up his lap.
Can't tell exactly what happened to Zimoglis. Oh, he's parked off the edge of the track there. I don't know if he's crashed out or backed out of his lap, but JXW. Oh, he's had his lap invalidated. You always hate to see when that happens. He's not going to have enough time to put in another lap. As here comes Sir Harry through the final chicane, looking to improve on his P8, which is a solid time there. And it looks like he cannot. So Ferrari's coming up. Who is off there? Someone was in the gravels. Wolfsburg comes in. Ryan goes across. Puff coming through 130 Rs. See if he can improve on that target time, which is already a good 2.5 tenths up on Fuzz. Comes through the final turn and out across 127.8. Very impressive. Goes up nearly a second over Fuzz in P2. JFD up in P5. And here Fuzz dips into the pits. Gruesome through the final chicane. He's also in the pits. Looks like almost everyone's here is finished on their lap. Here's back looking to improve, and he does get onto the front row of the grid with a nice 128.5. Just a few more drivers looking to finish out their laps. Here's GP Colin coming down through the long back straight. Currently P6, a solid outing for him. Looks to be awfully slow.
He's definitely cruising.
Not sure what's going on there. He's gonna head in the pit lane. Anyone else still on their lap? Oh, we got a collision there between the Red Bull. I think that's just. It might have been an AI. Oh yes, that's an AI collision right there. Always strange to see that happen here. I'm not sure what's going on with Sam's lap. I think he was involved in that collision. Seems to be heading into the pit lane. And that should be the end of qualifying with Puff P1 with a very strong 127.8. 7/10 over Beck starting in P2. Anything stand out to you here from this session?
Fuzz P3.
Yeah, he's definitely got the pace. It's just his race pace isn't exactly always on par with his qualifying pace. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hold on that P3. He's got his teammate RC on the second row of the grid with him, so maybe they can work some things out, keep him at the front, get some solid strategy, and get a good race in there. We'll have to see what happens there. So let's take a look at this grid. We've got Puff P1, Back P2, Fuzz and RC P3 and 4, and then JFD in the Racing Point, GP Colin. Gruesome Car starts P7, Sir Harry P8, Stig starts 9th on the Haas. Zimoglis will qualify P10 but has a 10th place grid penalty due to the collision, so he'll move down to P20. Ryan 11th, Bigga 12th, Brent Chris was 13th, Wolfsburg 14th, Sam P 15th, Ginnett crashed out P16, JXW 17th, Prince Ali 18th, Zoinks 19th, Doth also crashed out in P20. So quite an interesting grid. It should be giving us up to a decent race with this field lineup we have today. What do you think will happen with the VSC safety car? Do you think we'll see it play a big role in the strategy today, or will it just be something extra that these drivers will have to deal with?
I mean, I don't think it'll affect strategy too much, but I think you'll definitely see at least a couple of VSEs in the full safety car.
Yeah, that seems to be what the general case is, because with most of these guys being on probably going to be at one stop, unless it comes out that one specific time, it probably won't be too much of an advantage. But we could definitely see them at some point due to stray sheet metal or debris or something, a small incident like that. That's just going to be inevitable here as we go through this race. Japan's a very tough track. There's plenty of places where we can lose it, where someone can lose it or crash out of the session, as we saw in qualifying with Janet crashing out and the other incident involving Doth as well. So I think I think these drivers can put on a clean race, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for them getting around this circuit.
Oh, someone readied up.
Looks, there's one of them every time. I don't. Look, here we are on the. Oh, and we got.
Oh, good start.
What's going on here? Did we straight away with lap 1?
Oh, wait, what?
Something happened at the. Oh, jeez. What the Renault and the Toro. Oh. So, not sure what's happening here. I think everyone's gonna have to back out and create a new lobby here. The safety car is out already. Quite an interesting start to this race. I think I'm gonna double check that we're gonna have probably a new lobby here.
Yeah.
That's a new one. I haven't seen anything that happened before, but certainly an interesting beginning to this race. But
it was Fuzz's fault, apparently.
So it looks like we'll re-rack the grid and then get started. Fuzz claiming it was an accident, but I wonder if that's true.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that would be my bet. So chaos at the start of what was expected to be the race. Puff is still driving around under the safety car here, unless that's his
dedication.
Oh, I just got booted from the lobby. So we'll re-rack this grid and get this started again, hopefully with the correct settings this time. So hopefully the settings are correct this time. Seems to be we're still out of Australia. Not too far down from Japan, so hopefully we'll have a much cleaner start to the actual race this time. Currently reworking the custom grid for the actual start of the race. There we are, back in Japan. Ready to get this Japanese Grand Prix underway. I believe this is round 6 of the Tier 1 championship so far. JFD actually atop the standings level with RC. Very interesting at the top. We have 4 drivers within 2 points. We have JFD and RC at 60, Puff at 59, and then Doth down with 58. So it's been an interesting season so far, already a quarter of the way through the championship. Very tight at the top. Only 14 drivers so far have points. Have to see if Doth can maintain pace with the other 3 front runners after starting from the back tonight due to the incident in qualifying. He didn't even get a valid lap in before DNFing from the session, so we'll have to see if he can keep that up. And looks like we're about ready to get this race underway. Hopefully this time everything is all good, and we'll be ready to go racing shortly here for 27 laps around the Suzuka circuit. Almost everybody will be starting on the soft tires, on the one-stop soft to medium. Should be fairly straightforward. Expecting a simple, clean race tonight out of these guys. I have to see what happens.
I'm interested to see what Gennett can do from the back, well, near the back.
Him and Doth both gonna be near the back. They're both quick on the pace guys, starting from the back of the grid. They'll have to fight their way through the traffic. We'll have to see if they're able to make their way through through the pack and hopefully land some solid points today. It's definitely gonna shake things up here with them 2 quick drivers starting from the back. So getting ready to start here from Japan. Looks like drivers on the grid. So Puff is on the front row of the grid along with JFD, I believe. Those 2 both are going to be very solid. It's going to be interesting on the relatively short run into turn 1. See if either of them can gain an advantage ahead of the other. Because being first here would be a huge advantage. Be able to dictate the pace, get the clean air out in front, as opposed to dealing with everybody else all the traffic coming from behind. So it's going to be an interesting start to see who can get the jump off the line. Who will be making up the most places from the midfield. Lots of opportunities around this circuit on the first lap to make your way up through positions. So, especially with the chaos that could happen through, especially turn 1 and the S's and into Spoon. This could be anyone's race. you can't count anybody out no matter how the qualifying went. So who's your pick for the win today?
I'm gonna go RC.
That's a very solid pick. He's had a great season. He's starting from the second run of the grid, so we'll see if he can maintain that and play the strategy right and take the win. I'm thinking it's gonna be Puff from the pole. He set the fastest lap in qualifying by a mile. He seems to be the most on the pace driver on the grid this week. So we're just gonna have to see what.
To be fair.
That is true. Very, very experienced, very knowledgeable about the track, very skilled at it, knows his way around each turn. So we'll see if he can. He's on the pole, so hopefully he can maintain that position for himself and take the victory and the 25 points that go with it. So it looks like 10 seconds until we're getting underway here. About ready for the lights to go out. Alright, here we go. Formation lap, getting ready on the grid. We'll run through the starting order one more time. We've got Puff starting on the pole, Beck starting in second, P2. And then the two McLarens, Fuzz and RC, P3 and P4. JFD, P5. GP Con, notably a reserve this week, in P6. Gruesome in P7 in the Haas. Then Sir Harry and the other Force India at P8. Stig, P9 in the Renault. And then Ryan, P10, starting on the medium tires. So interesting to see how the reverse strategy plays out here. Ryan Big N, P11, also on the mediums. Brent Crystals, P12 on the softs. Wolfsburg, P13 on the mediums. Sam on the hard, starting in P14. So you have to wonder what he's thinking here. Maybe a hard to medium strategy, hard to soft. Wonder how the tire wear is going to play into that. But it's going to be interesting to see which of these strategies plays out the best. Zenith P15 in the mediums. JXW P16. Prince Ali P17 and the other Mercedes. Zoinks P18. Doth starting from the back after the incident in quali on the softs compared to most of the rest of the guys outside the top 10 on the mediums. And then Zamoglis, after the 10th place grid penalty, is starting from the back of the grid. So seems like we're going to have a good one today. Finishing up the formation lap. It's important, especially at a track around here, make sure you got your tires warm to get a nice clean warm jump off the grid and be able to maintain that pace and hold off the other challengers. So it's gonna be a tight run down into turn one. We're gonna have to see what happens here.
That was a quick formation lap at least. Unlike Beck's attempt at it in China. Please.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's ready to just get on with the start. And line up on the grid. Looks like, not sure what happened there with. There was a Ferrari and a Williams already on the grid, but the drivers on the grid here, getting ready for the lights to go out. You know, everyone knows that's the most anxious moment where you tighten your grip on the wheel, adjust your position in your seat, and get ready for the lights to go out here from the Suzuka circuit. And it looks like the entire grid's now fully formed up. Yellow flag, not sure what that's about, but 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, long light, and we're underway here from Japan. Puff gets a great jump off the line. Looks like Beck is going to hold on to P2, 3 wide running through the back. Oh, we've got a spin. Both McLarens are around. Collects, plenty of cars. Looks like RC lost it through there. Not entirely sure what happened, but looks like yellow flag is out. No safety car yet. A lot of drivers involved. Not exactly sure who. Zenith is up to P11 here. JXW making a move on. Zenith's up 4 positions. Looks like Fuzz is down 3. He seems to have his front wing still intact after that collision. Ryan Big and Brent Crystal's up 3. But Puff has maintained the lead after he got a great jump off the line back up into P2. So it looks like we have an interesting battle here for P3 between JFD in the racing point, followed by. Oh, we've got an incident in the back. Stig spun out at the hairpin there, now trailing RC. It looks like he's got a very damaged front wing. His entire right end plate's missing. Well, he's gonna have to come into the pits for that. We're gonna have to see if he goes on to the hard tires or transitions into the 2-stop. That's gonna be an interesting choice to see what they do with here. RC is overtaking Zoinks down the long straight here, making his way back up through the field. So Puff leads the first lap of this Japanese Grand Prix. We're going to see if Harry can get close enough to GP here to make a move, but it doesn't look like it. GP will hang on to P4. Trying to take a look at battles here. Brent Crystal's a giant logjam of drivers here heading through the first part of the S's, headed by Fuzz, whose front wing still seems to be okay. So very lucked out there. Not sure exactly what happened between the McLarens. Looks like one of them dove to the inside and clipped the other one as they were going into the first turn. RC again making moves, has now passed up Wolfsburg as another yellow flag. I believe that was for Stiggs. Not entirely sure what happened there. RC making up positions even with a damaged front wing. GP Collins still hanging on close here. Almost makes a move into the hairpin. See if maybe he feels risky, like a move into Spoon. Not entirely a ton of places to make overtakes around this track. You have the DRS zone leading into turn 1. That's always a risky spot. So it looks like drivers are going to have to be creative today. They're going to have to take some risks and try to find the right places around the track to overtake. Janet now in P11, chasing down Gruesome, who is on the soft tire. Try to see what they can do here as Doth has started to make his way up to P14. Got a nice battle here. JXW working, trying to take the position away from Sam. It looks like Sam's going to hold him off. Perhaps maybe JXW can get him down the straight here. This is going to be, oh, Doth making a move to the inside. I don't know, it doesn't have DRS yet. It's going to be tough to make this move stick. We're going to see it, and it looks like JXW is going to cover him off. So interesting battle we have going on here between Sam on the hard tires holding up 3 drivers on the soft tires. So this is also something that's going to play a factor here, because we have a few guys here on the soft tires trying to make up their positions here. Doth looking to the inside, and JXW still through the S's. Going to see if he can make that work here. I don't believe RC is coming to the pit, so he's going to try to stick it out with that damaged front wing. Possibly can continue his strategy here. Fuzz getting very close to the back of Sir Harry through the hairpin. Trying to see if he can make a move around here. Don't think he's going to be close enough. Looks like Gruesome and the Haas getting close to Brent and the Renault here. Maybe he can make a move down the long back straight here. He's definitely close up. He's got plenty of battery to spend, so without the help of DRS.
To get past JXW as well.
That's an important move there. He's going to have to make up places quickly here. Gets another place past Sam, going through down into 130R, and that's huge as it frees him away. Sam is now under pressure from JXW, and he's going to get past there for P13. And now Zemoglis right behind as well, going to have DRS down this front straight. Looks like he had a little bit of wiggle out of the back turn. Doesn't have DRS actually, so it might have been ahead. Must have been ahead. So it looks like Doth makes out in P12, and then JXW up into P13. Still watching this battle here for P4 between GP Colin and then Sir Harry and Fuzz filling it behind. All about a half second separating these 3. And then Gruesome has been sitting here behind Brent for the past couple of laps, just waiting for that opportunity to make his move. Yellow flag in sector 1. And that looks like Wolfsburg. A little bit off the pace here. Not entirely sure what happened there. But he's fallen off the back of the pack, so hopefully he can rebound and find his way back up to the front. There's Janet closing in on this group here. Wonder if he's going to be able to make his way past there. Going to be an interesting chase down this back straight. Now, Jin on those medium tires, he might not have the raw pace to make this work. Gruesome again, not close. He might be close enough to make a dive into the hairpin or the chicane, and it looks like he's gonna have to back out of it at the last second. Very close there. Sir Harry with DRS on the back of GP going down the front straight. Got that ERS into hot lap. He's gonna make a move to the outside down into turn 1, and he's gonna clear him around the outside. Nice move there from Sir Harry as Doth sets the fastest lap of the race. So Sir Harry up into P4. Looks like this battle for P8 tightening up as another yellow. Colin must have ran a little bit wide. It looks like Ryan and Fuzz have overtaken him, and now he's fallen into the clutches of Biga and the Red Bull. Down into the second little train of cars going on. So looks like we've got 4 cars, back to 5 cars even, very close. None of them able yet to make a move. Puff still leads. He's now extended a 2.5 second gap on Beck. Very quick around this track. Just as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, keeps driving a clean race, he should be in a decent position here. Brent getting very close to Biga, going into Spoon. I don't think he's going to be able to make the move right now, but could get a decent run. He's definitely been closing up. GP Collins, he's still out there in front of this little group. We'll have to see if he can hold on to his P7. This appears to be the tightest battle on the track right now. Brent looks to the inside, and it doesn't look like he... Gruesome gets around Jinnit, though. Jinnit looks like he's missing his right end plate, and Jinnit's going to dive into the pits. Disastrous.
Yeah, he went into the back of, I think, Brent, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's just characteristic of good racing there, you know. Bunch of drivers trying to jockey for position into one of the tightest turns on this track. It was bound to happen to someone. Just a shame for Ginna there. He's going now onto the hard tires, so Pierre said he's going to try the one-stop medium to hard. We'll have to see how that works out for him. The yellow flag in sector 1 looks like one of the alphas is off. JXW has gone off now. It appears he's rejoining. Can't tell where he is. It looks like he's still sitting off the track. Oh, he's finally rejoining the track. Not sure what exactly happened there, but he's missing the whole left end plate, and he's definitely going to have to come into the pits for that. And another yellow flag for Zoinks, it appears. Probably, oh, he's run wide again. A little bit shaky so far. Looks like his entire front wing is in place. So Doth is now up to P11 on the back of Gruesome here, going down the back straight. Gruesome also on the back of Brent. See if he can make a move. He's going to go to the inside of Brent, going through 130R, but he's going to back out. Very conservative there. Now Doth is going to make a move to the inside, and looks like he's going to get him. Impressive move from Doth right there, up into P10. Zoinks gets a 3-second time penalty. It's a shame to see right there. Sir Harry right now on the back of Fuzz going into the S's. See if he can make a potential move around Fuzz, who's still holding his own in P4 so far. Been a solid race so far. Still very early though.
RC going for it. No payback time.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being a little bit cautious here, especially with turns such as turn 1 and having wing damage. You don't want to push things too far and completely ruin your race, but we'll see how if RC can make a recovery run. I would assume he's going to dive in the pits shortly for a set of hard tires instead of the mediums to try to make it to the end and change his front wing. As Steg is getting very close here, but looks like he backs out of that one. Now we got an interesting train here at the lower end of the points. Starting with Biga on the mediums, everyone else around him on the softs. He's got a decent gap back behind him. But then I want to keep an eye on Doth here, see if he can overtake Brent to pick up another position. Looks like the battle for P2 is starting to shape up a little bit. JFD is close to within 1 second of Beck. I'm gonna have to see if he can. He's been slowly gaining on him, but we'll see if potentially in a few laps time if he's gonna be able to make a move. We're here coming into the DRS straight. Doth dives into the pits. Beginning of the soft runners. Oh, walks up a little bit there on pit entry, but start of the soft runners in for pit stop for the first pit. Doth going on to the medium, so just as you predicted, looks like a soft medium strategy will be happening for most people here. Looks like Doth is going to come out just behind his teammate in D17 now, rejoining the track. On them fresh medium tires, going to see. I'm assuming he can gonna make it to the end on that, so we're gonna have to see how many positions he can gain. Where are we at? This battle is still shaping up. No one has been able to make a move as Stig overtakes RC finally through the S's. And that releases him to chase after Sam, who is on the hard tires. RC has been stuck at P14. He hasn't been able to get too much further ahead than that. So he's got that damaged front wing, so that could be holding him back slightly here. Here's Gruesome now closing in on Brent, going down the back straight. Heading down towards 130R. He's going to make a move around the outside. Wheel to wheel, heading down into 130R, goes a little bit wide, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to hold on. He's going to have to back out before the chicane. So that's going to be a prime overtaking point for these drivers around 130R. There's going to be some points where they're just going to have to lick the stamp and send it down the inside and see what happens. As now he goes down the inside and towards turn 1 and gets past Brent for P9 on the worn soft tires. So very impressive move. Now Stig up into P13, RC dives into the pits. Gets a speeding penalty, so his day is just going from bad to worse now. We're assuming he's coming in for the hard tires. And it looks like he's going on to the medium tires. Getting a change of front wing there. So Brent down into P10, Gruesome up into P9 now, looking to run down Biga. Looks like JFD still closing in just a little bit on back for P2. He's gained about 1 or 2 tenths over the last couple laps, so starting to make things interesting here as Stig is closing in on Sam for P12. Now these guys are a little bit off the main pack here as he's getting right to his rear bumper through the hairpin. Maybe he can make a move into Spoon or down the back straight. He's right there on his bumper. He looks to the inside but backs out. Wise decision there. You don't want to go flying aggressively into the turn here. P10. Gruesome is now closing in on Big as they have come up to the DRS straight again. See if he can make a move here before the round of pit stops begins. And he's got DRS, he goes to the inside and completes the move. Nice move there from Gruesome to get past Biga for P8. As Zenith has overtaken Wolfsburg for P16. Impressive move for him, although it hasn't exactly been the race that he's been expecting. Stone stuck in P16 still. Doth moves his way up to P14 on those medium tires. Stig is still behind Sam, unable to make a move around him. Interesting though that he's on the. I wonder if the soft tires are starting to get worn here. He's got 9 laps on them, and Sam on the hard tires. You'll have to assume that the hard tires are starting to come into his own as now he overtakes him. Looks like Sam got a little bit wide there going through the exit of the S's. Stig takes advantage and takes the move for P12. So that was a very impressive move, capitalizing on the mistake from Sam. Zenith has now closed up to the back of Prince Ali, going in towards the hairpin. That's a spot you can make an overtake if you're feeling risky, but decides not to there. Just hangs out P16 on those fresh hard tires. Probably going to take them all the way to the end as Fuzz moves into P3. JFD dips into the pits for a fresh set of medium tires. Ryan's up into P5. Everyone else Okay, it's making a move. Is he going to make it stick? It looks like he will. Impressive overtake on the Mercedes of Prince Ali. Up into P15, but he's still got a long way to go if he wants to score points tonight. Doth sets the fastest lap of the race in the mediums. So he's definitely got the pace to make his way back up the field. It's going to be interesting to see once all these soft runners get their way into the pits what's going on. JFD was running in P3 and he's now in P11 after the pit stop, so still got quite a few drivers ahead of him about to come in for fresh rubber here. Doth has closed up on Sam again. Still dips it to the inside, about the same place where Stig made his move. Gonna be too wide and Sam backs out of that. Love that to see the clean racing here between these guys. Prince Ali's gotten a 3-second time penalty. That's very unlucky for him.
Off into the pits.
And the leader dives it in. Looking at some fresh tires here, gonna see where he comes out as Beck has assumed the lead. Still running on them soft tires, interestingly enough. As the rest of the top 4 in, Fuzz in for fresh tires as here comes Puff. Still sitting in P2, but he's gonna lose P2 to Ryan. Looks like he'll be able to hang on to P3. As Gruesome and GP Colin into the pits as well. So Beck is the current leader here, still on them worn soft tires. So looks like when him and Ryan on the reverse medium soft, we're gonna see if that's beneficial to him. Stig makes his way up into P10 with GP Colin and Gruesome diving into the pits. Doth up into P11 now, so he could recover for some points here. Just 3 seconds off Stig in P10, who's on the worn soft tires. So it looks like we have a battle here for P7 between JFD and Zamogos for P6 actually. Down in towards the hairpin. RC has overtaken Zoinks. Still not a great race for him. He's taking that speeding penalty, which didn't do anything to help his recovery efforts.
Just goes from bad to worse for him, unfortunately.
Exactly, just it gets in your head sometimes. You have a mistake at the first turn of the race, and then it just compounds, and the mistakes keep piling up, and that seems to be what happens here. Zoinks has picked up a 3-second penalty. JXW way off the pace. He's just come in for a fresh set of hards and changed the, I believe, changed the front wing that was damaged in that earlier accident. Zenith has picked up a 3-second time penalty, which, oh, we've got a yellow flag. One of the Williams, I believe that Zoinks, not sure what happens there. He's been having a tough race as well, but who knows, the safety car could come out. Things could still change here as Zamogos and Brent Crystals dive their way in for fresh sets of medium tires. So Ryan still maintains his lead, but Puff is right on his tail on the fresh medium tires, very quickly gaining. So these fresh tires are going to have a huge impact here. Interesting battle here is Gruesome, and now is fighting with Jin and Sam. And Sam had to back out. Looks like there's a little bit of contact with him and Jinnit there on that interesting 3-blade battle in towards turn 1.
Yeah, it's not a corner I typically want to go 3-way battle into. But.
Exactly, but if you've got a guy coming out of the pits, Zoinks picks up causes another yellow flag. Must have run wide there. But you've got someone coming out of the pits there, and 2-wide battle coming down the straight. Sometimes it just happens like that, and you got to make things work, and they did. Good for Sam for backing out of that and not causing what would have been another major incident. Doth up to P9, now closing in on Stig. Looking for
Puff's got to move up the inside of 130R. He's in the lead.
Puff retakes the lead. We'll have to assume Ryan's going to be diving into the pits soon. But an impressive move there from Puff. Retaking the lead now, and he seems to be all set to go to the end and take the victory here in this Japanese Grand Prix. JXW takes the 3-second time penalty. Stig dives into the pits, the last soft runner. So everyone now onto the medium or hard tires. That's going to promote Janet back up to P11 after the low starting position he had, as RC picks up another time penalty. So just a struggling race for him. And Stig all the way down to P17 on those new fresh medium tires. So watching the involves here is Beck is closing in on Biga for P3. Now Biga is on the medium to a soft strategy, so he's going to be sticking it out at least for a couple more laps. Beck's going to want to get past him as soon as possible, and he's going to make a move, it looks like, towards the inside into Spoon. And it looks like he's gonna get it done. Nice move there from Beck. He needed to get that one done because Biga was holding him up there on those old tires. And now JFD is going to be in a similar situation, going to try to make that move as Brent has overtaken Sam, who's still on the old hard tires. Those aren't proving to be too kind to him right now, 13 laps into his stint. So it seems to be the battle on track now is for P4 between Biga and JFD here. JFD DRS down the main straight. Maybe he can make a move to the inside. He's thinking about it. Good defensive driving there from Biga to hold on to the position for at least for now. But you'd have to think that JFD is going to make his way past there soon, as Doth sets another fastest lap of the race. Yellow flag in sector 2. Looks like it's a Williams again of Zoinks. Just having a tough race all around. Zamoglis has now overtaken Sam down the main straight. So a good move from him there. Sam struggling on those old hard tires. Gonna wonder if he's holding out to put on the softs. RC, a good move to the inside of Wolfsburg there through turn 1. He's got that front wing replaced, so we can see how much time he can make up. He's right on the back of Prince Ali now, who's on the 14 lap old mediums. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can make a move here. We'll head up JFD into P5. A yellow flag. Looks like an incident between Stig and Wolfsburg, and Stig is ghosted in the middle of the track. Looks like he lost some front wing there. So it looks like either a case of trying to go too wide through that turn, or someone lost the back end. Wolfsburg has lost his left end plate, so I would assume that maybe trying to make an overtake and got into a little bit of a collision there. But that's not great for Wolfsburg. But he is scheduled to come into the pits soon, so could be a little bit of a blessing in disguise there for him. JFD has made his way past Biga for P4. Solid race run so far for JFD. He's still about 2 seconds off of Beck. So we'll see if he's going to be able to close that in at all. Zamoglis is right behind Brent Crystal's going down into turn 1. Maybe he can make a move to the inside. He's going to go for it. He's going to pull an old Ricardo, and he's going to make the overtake up into P12. Just behind his teammate Janet on the hard tires, who's closed up to the back of Gruesome for the last points paying position. Brent's still sitting a little bit behind Zamoglis, but don't know if he'll be close enough to make a move. Gets a little bit into the grass there, but still a couple of tenths behind. Zoink says overtaking Wolfsburg, who's dived it into the pits. He's had a struggling race there, and that collision there in the end of the S is not ideal, not exactly what he wanted. It looks like we're going to have a battle for P2 coming here shortly, as Beck is closing in on the back of Ryan. Ryan's still needing to make that pit stop. Here coming to 10 laps to go in this race. And there he goes, he dives into the pits, likely onto a set of fresh soft tires. As now Janet still closing in on Gruesome. Gonna see if he can make a move down the DRS straight, as that's GP Colin just ahead as well. Gonna be an interesting three-way battle here. Janet on the old hard tires though, still maintaining this chance. Gruesome might have a chance, as there comes Ryan out of the pits onto the soft tires in P11. GP Colin gonna hang on to P8. Now Ryan P11, gonna see what noise he can make on the softies. Janet's Oh, Brent Crystals is retired from the session, and a virtual safety car has been deployed. Zamoglu's out as well. Not sure what happened there, but an incident in turn 1. Brent Crystal sitting on the inside. On the inside in turn 1 on the entry. So, incident must have happened at the end of the straight. Maybe a case of someone of Zamoglu's getting clipped and run into the wall. But a VSC here, Stig dives into the pits. Good break for him there to get a cheap pit stop. So now down to 18 runners in this Grand Prix. 10 laps to go. Puff with a commanding 8-second lead over Puff. So you have to think the race is all about his here. Doth with a nice recovery drive after a disastrous qualifying up in the P7. And we're back on a green flag here. Doth right behind Sir Harry, trying to get a move done for P6. See if he can do it here. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to into the chicane. Gonna have DRS again down the straight. Plenty of battery, might be able to get something done. As Big finally goes into the pits for a set of softs. Looks like Harry's gonna hang on for P5. Fuzz still hanging on in P4. 4 seconds gap to JFD. Still a little ways off the podium. As looks like we have a battle here. Zenith, but still with Gruesome and GP trying to find a way around. Interesting little three-way train we have going on here. Looks like Sam and Prince Ali both diving into the pits to put on the soft tires. See if they can maybe get a few overtakes and up into the points. RC up into P12 after the struggle of a race it has been for him. Don't know if he'll be able to find his way up into the points at all.
It's going to be an ask, given that the two in front of him run soft as well.
Exactly. The best thing you can hope for at this point is a safety car and incident between some drivers in front. Here we go.
Fuzz is still on track, so it's always possible.
Yeah, he hasn't gone off track and been to yet. Yellow sector 3 yellow flag. Not sure what's going on there. Looks like that incident's resolved. Looks like one of the Williams going slow. Doth, oh, that's a shame. He got a 5-second time penalty, exceeding the limits into the chicane. Still right on the back of Sir Harry here, so he could manage a top 5 finish in this race. Another yellow flag in sector 3. As Zenith down to P10. Gruesome has now overtaken GP for P7. So I mean, there another yellow flag. That's Renault of Stig.
Getting it out wide as well.
Not sure how many. Again, struggling now. He's now dropped another position to Bigga on the fresh soft tires. Something is up, I believe. Let's see, another yellow flag. I know I believe he's a lap down, trying to get out of the way. Good move in there. GP Colin is out of the session. Not exactly sure what happened there. Let's see if you can catch.
Another VSC.
Looks like at the end of Denier here. Can't tell.
Yeah,
Oh, he
just spun it.
must have. Yeah, I believe he probably lost the back end on the exit. So that's disappointing for him. He had a good solid race going, was solidly in the points. But just gonna have to get back on and get ready for the next race here. Doth is still sitting right behind Sir Harry, getting ready to overtake when the green flag comes back out. Still under the VSC from GP Colin's crash in sector 2. So Puff still has the commanding lead, now 9 seconds over Beck sitting in P2. Looks like, barring any crazy safety car incident, looks like it's Puff's race to lose. JXW has made his way up into P14 on the hard tires. And
oh, Fuzz.
Oh, there it is. A drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. That is not what he wanted. He's driven a very solid race up into P4. And now that's going to cost him at least 20 seconds. Very disappointing. We'll have to see if he can recover in the last few laps.
He should still be able to get points.
Yeah, he's. I'm sure it'll definitely finish with the points. He's just a question of how much. Sam into the pits again.
Just out of his teammate, so.
Exactly. So Doth's still chasing down Sir Harry. He's got that 5-second time penalty to keep in mind. So we'll have to see if he can maintain a gap. He's got a 6-second gap to Gruesome in P7 right now. Sector flag yellow. Sector 2 yellow flag. Good move there from Stig getting out of the way of this battle. And Doth still unable to find space to make a move. We'll have to see if Fuzz the Eddie dives into the pits now. Brent Crystals already out of the session. Wolfsberg is now retired. An incident at the end of the S's, it appears. Trying to see if he can catch what happened.
Yeah.
He's gone into the barrier. It's on them hard tires, probably lost it coming out. Fuzz now out into P8. Might lose out on P9 to Bigger, but he's just going to hang on.
Keeps it interesting.
So this is going to be an interesting battle shaping up here. Ryan just ahead, chasing down Gruesome, looking for P6. Doth still behind Sir Harry for P4, although he's gotten closer now. One of the Alphas. Yellow flag in Sector 2. That's Beck. Seems to be alright, but he's lost P2 to JFD. As Sir Harry and Doth battling here. Wonder if Beck had a spin or a big lockup into the hairpin. But in any case, JFD up into P2 now. Doth still stuck in P5, unable to. He was past Sir Harry for a brief second, but couldn't quite finish off the move. Ryan now just behind, but we'll keep an eye on this battle here into the chicane. Not quite. Probably going to save his move for the DRS straight.
Oh, no.
Lost the back end a little bit there. That's going to hurt him. See if he can still make a run. Ryan almost a full second behind Gruesome. Don't think he's going to be able to do it this time by. But he's still sitting right there. And Janet right now at the end of the points. Running in P10, trying to make a move on Biga. Looking to the inside, but it's just not quite close enough. Still 6 laps to go. So plenty. RC actually 7. So one more incident happens, he could find his way into the points. Great recovery drive from him so far for everything that's happened so far this race for him. Doth still sitting right behind Sir Harry. That's got to be so frustrating when you're sitting just behind someone for so many laps and you can't quite make that move. He's got a decent run here going in towards Spoon, but it looks like he's still going to be too far back.
Sir Harry seems to have a more left downforce setup.
Yeah, he's gone for that straight line goal to hold him off at the end of the DRS straight and just maintain pace during through the turns, which is not a bad idea.
It's working.
Yeah, he's up in P4, which is very solid for him. Doth is right on his bumper here. Might be able to make a move. He's got DRS again down the main straight. Harry trying to break the slipstream. See if he can get to the inside, and it doesn't. Oh, very close. Looked like a little bit of contact there. He's going to try to make it too wide through the S's. No, he's going to back out. He finally took that chance as Janet makes his way past Biga into P9 on the old hard tires over Biga soft. So great move there from Janet. But Biga is sitting right there on the fresh soft, so gonna try to make the move back for P9. Stig has dived it back into the pits again. Just been a tough race all around for him. Ryan has closed in on the back of Gruesome here, 4/10 behind on them fresh soft tires. Gonna potentially try to make a move as Doth is still on the back of Sir Harry. Doesn't look like there's going to be any change to the podium right now. Puff, JFD, and Beck with very solid out in front as Doth closing the gap. Maybe making a bold move into 130R, the chicane. Still sitting behind. Looking to the outside, but good defense.
Oh, he's gone for it.
And it looks like he's got it. Fantastic move there from Doth. Diving it to the inside in the chicane. Fake to the outside, down to the inside. That is a brilliant move right there. Now Ryan just half a second behind Gruesome. Gonna see if he can get close enough to make a move. But it doesn't look like he's gonna make a move with his teammate as Zenith pulls a Hamilton, setting the fastest lap of the race on the old hards. Impressive pace right there. He's closed the gap to Fuzz for P8. We're gonna see if he can make the move in these last 3 laps on his worn hards. Ryan's still sitting behind Gruesome. This is the closest battle on track right now. Ryan's got to be getting frustrated on them fresh softs. He knows he's got the pace advantage with the tires, so just about picking his place to make the move. Currently sitting 7/10 behind. Zenith is now falling just over a second behind Fuzz. Still within overtaking range, but it's going to be a big ask to see him get a move done. Puff still holding.
3 laps left.
Exactly. He's not going to have too many chances on them worn tires. Just got to pick his spot and go for it. As coming through 130R, Ryan is still hanging about half a second off of his teammate. Trying to set up a move down the DRS straight. Got a decent run through the chicane, the final turn. I think he's just going to be a little bit too far back once again. Great defending going on there from Gruesome in the Haas. Looks like he's on for a solid points day. Fuzz still hanging on to P8. Zenith still about a second or so behind. But what a race it has been for Puff. Just out in front all day long, except for the pit stop. Nice, clean, smooth race. That's all you can ask for in a race, and it seems like he's going to be coming home with a victory in about 3 laps.
Yeah, he's just been chilling for most of it.
Yeah, hasn't had to do too much, not too much defending. Just hanging out up there, driving his own race. That's all you can ask for, is to drive your own race and not make any mistakes. Still watching this battle here for Ryan. His soft tires are going to start to wear out a little bit here. He's losing this window to make an opportunity for move for P6. Especially considering 2 laps to go this time by. He's running out of time and tires. Doth again sets the fastest lap of the race. Oh, Zenith gets a 5-second time penalty there. That pretty much kills any chance he had. Oh, Stig is out of the session. Right at the same place where GP Colin retired. Probably just lost it off the end of the turn there. Very unfortunate for him. Now we have an interesting scenario here. Biga sitting in P10, currently at about 4.9 seconds off of Zenith, who has that 5-second time penalty. So Biga perhaps up into P9. And RC, he's been closing a little bit on Biga, but he's going to be just a bit too far back. See if Zenith can still make a move past Fuzz here in these closing stages. Looks like Puff coming around to take coming on to the final lap. It's now down to 15 runners in this race. Puff sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix once that extra point. That's
As I said, he's just been chilling.
that determination, uh, that competitiveness. He's been out in front all day.
He had about 80% ERS the entire race, so.
Zenith has made it. Zenith has made his move past Fuzz up into P8. Still got those penalties though, so gonna be interesting to see how that ends up shaking out. Big picks up a 3-second time penalty, so penalties could end up playing a role in the end of this race. Gruesome has closed up to the back of Sir Harry, potentially for P5. Wondering if he can make a move through the S's or down into the final chicane here on this last lap. But he's running out of time and opportunities to make it. But he's had a great race sitting in P6. Fuzz closing in on Zenith there. Doth has had a great race, recovery drive, P4. Very solid for him. I would take that if I was him, considering what happened in qualifying. And then the man of the hour, Puff, coming through the final chicane for the last time. All around great race, a dominating performance. And off the final turn, Puff is going to take the victory here in Japan. JFD, P2. Coming through the final corner now. Gruesome, one last chance to try to make a move on Sir Harry.
He's going to have it.
He's going to have a chance, that's for sure. We're going to see if he can make it. He's getting very close to the bumper, looking to the outside. He's very close, but looks like Sir Harry is going to hang on for P5. Beck comes home P3. Doth has a 5-second unserved penalty. That promotes Sir Harry to P4, Gruesome to P5. Doth comes home P6, Ryan P7, Janet P8, but Fuzz goes past him due to the penalties. Bigot claims the last point spot, P10. RC coming home in P11, a respectable race with what has been a frustrating drive for him. So fantastic Grand Prix all around, lots of action, lots of good racing between all the drivers, very clean. It was a class performance out there tonight. Puff celebrating on the podium with JFD and Beck. All around great performance and a well-deserved victory for him. So if you had to pick right now, who would your choice for driver of the day be?
As much as I want to say Doth, it's kind of hard to look past Puff.
Exactly. He had a dominating performance, led just about every single lap, and what Doth did fantastic, making up 16 positions. It was an all-around great drive from Puff. So final tally: Puff comes home in P1, JFD P2, Beck finishes P3, Sir Harry P4, Gruesome P5, a nice drive for him. Doth P6 on a good recovery run. Ryan P7. Fuzz manages to come P8 after the first lap incident with his teammate. Zenith P9 after the incident qualifying. Big Up P10, RC P11, Prince Ali P12, Sam P13, JXW 14th, Zoinks 15th, Stigas 16th, Wolfsburg 17th, GP Colin 18th, Zimoglis 19th, and Brent Crystals comes home in 20th. So, all around great Grand Prix. Definitely lived up to our expectations. Lots of good racing, lots of clean driving, so it was interesting. We're going to have to see what happens next time.